Even though I've been designing jewelry for the last 5 years, I started out as a fiber artist / tapestry weaver. This piece is very special to me. It was created for a private residence, and I also had the pleasure of entering it into the Philadelphia Guild of Hand Weavers show at the Weismer Gallery in Philadelphia, and won honorable mention. It was woven probably around 1980. The other reason it's so special to me is when you're creating tapestry, it's important to show that there are fibers. I really didn't want to create tapestry that looked like a painting and then have it be compared to a painting. I wanted to give it some 3D quality, and so I like the intertwining knots and negative spaces. The piece has a lot of movement, and even though it looks very symmetrical, the fact of the matter is each half is quite different, and I kind of enjoy that challenge in my work. And so I just wanted to share it with all of you. The second piece was done recently, and it is made from repurposed drapery tape. And I found it at a flea market in 1985, and it sat on my desk for close to 20 years, and I kept playing with it, not knowing what I was going to do. And I knew there was an idea in there somewhere. So it is very flat tape, and I started pleating it up and playing with it, and I eventually came up with a necklace. And you can see the similarities between the recent work and the first piece, that I really enjoy the knots and the curves and the lyrical quality and the negative spaces. I had the pleasure of being accepted into an international show a couple years ago here in the Wayne Art Center in Wayne, Pennsylvania, and it was a real honor. And I just really like the simplicity and the elegance of this neck piece. And it reminds me of like an 18th century ruff, some of the articles of collared clothing that you see in 18th century portraiture. I have had an interior design practice for the last 35 years. I'm recently retired, and I'd like to think of this as my last design job. I would also like to refer to it as an installation. Lest you think interior design is not art, I would beg to differ. It employs light, line, texture, form, color, and the same principles are used in creating a work of art in any medium. So what we're looking at here is, in the foreground, is we're looking at a table, an old table that I found, and I took all of my husband's old ties and created a pattern and made a tie table. It is sitting on an Isfahan hand-knotted rug, a Persian rug, and what's interesting is that both the table and the rug have a lot of pattern, but they work well together because they are separated by the solid mass of the wicker. Behind you, you see a credenza that was designed by me, and it is neoclassical, and it is also French, and sometimes the French neoclassical style can be referred to as empire, and it is sitting below another neoclassic piece, which is a mirror, but it is American neoclassic, which is sometimes referred to as federal. To the right and left of the mirror, you are looking at these two lamps, but they are repurposed. The lamps themselves, the stems, are Chinese print rollers for either wallpaper or fabric, and what you're looking at is the ink that is soaked into the rollers. I turned them 90 degrees, and I found these really fun Chinese hats in New York City, and I had a special harp built up into the hat for illumination. So I think it creates a really nice vignette. To the right, you will see an Art Deco chair, and I really enjoy mixing different patterns and styles. And then on the upper right corner, You'll see one of my sculptural weavings that I did many years ago. And so what really brings the room together with all of the patterns is the visual weight that is given by the color of the walls, which are navy. They tend to anchor the room, as do the windows that flank the mirror and credenza. And they also add visual weight to the room to really kind of balance everything out. And so this is my last piece, and I hope that you have enjoyed having a look. Thank you.